Happy Monday morning to you, and welcome to the H2G podcast, episode 3.
Hey everyone, welcome to the H2G podcast. We are joined by all of our favorite gentlemen here, and I'm going to throw it on over to the sexiest man alive who is constantly running from a grizzly bear. Marvin, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Christy. How you doing?
Great. What was the best part of your week?
The best part of my week was virtually celebrating my mom's 70th birthday. And
That's
that
awesome.
was, I couldn't be there to celebrate with her. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. I couldn't be there to celebrate with her, but it was definitely an amazing day for her and our family, for myself to reflect on just how lovely of a woman she is, how much she means to me. And, without her, I wouldn't be here with y'all, so her happiness was the best part of my week. Thank you, Christy. And to my right is the man with the plan, Justin Duvall. How you doing, man? That was the best part of your week, brother.
What's going on? Man, it has been a week. So as everybody has now seen, H2G week came out. That was the culmination of things that spurred out of technical difficulties. And so I've had a really bad 2 weeks, honestly, of just constant work trying to get this computer to do what it usually does or better, hopefully. And so the best part of my week is definitely getting in here with you guys today, laughing, having some fun, doing talking about some serious stuff today I'm excited about, and sports later. So I'm happy to be here, and I'm glad the H2G week went off without a hitch and everybody enjoyed it. That was fun. I'm still creeped out just rewatching that stuff from Fremont and that hotel, or not the hotel, but the house. Oh, creeped me out. But now I have the pleasure of introducing the man who sometimes just has knives around. That's just sometimes what he does. Richie Phillips.
Yeah, I don't have one on me today. I just have a TV remote, so not exactly the same thing. Thanks, Ben. For me, I would say the best part of my week was kind of twofold. I just got my Peloton yesterday, and I also bought a Sony OLED TV. So it was kind of crazy. If you guys follow me on social media, I kind of posted this earlier, and I took a picture just to see of like the Black Panther on my old TV. And then when I put up my new TV, I did the same scene with the Black Panther. And apparently my 7-year-old TV was actually playing the Gray Panther because he actually wasn't black. And when I saw my new TV, he was like the right color. Chadwick looked like a black man like he's supposed to. Everything was good. So it was nice to have like the real Black Panther in the building, Wakanda forever. And on the other side, getting the Peloton. That was pretty nice. I've been 8 months without really being able to work out. Can't go to the gym. I'm in California. They're still not open. So I have weights here. I always have, but I haven't been able to do cardio. And I would, as Justin alluded to, I'm a slender guy. It's not like I'm a big guy, but I like to keep a certain lifestyle and look. And I like to make sure I don't have what people call dad bods. I know they're accepted. That's just not something I'm looking to do, Tony. But yeah, so the first thing I focused on was doing the Peloton and trying it out. So the first day I overreached, actually. I probably shouldn't have went as hard as I did. I did 22 miles. I did it in an hour on a 60% incline. So by the end of it, I was exhausted. And the worst part is I had committed to doing that. So I didn't have any air conditioning set up. I'm sweating. I'm dying. I didn't put my fan or anything on. Huge mistake. My legs still feel like jelly, to be honest, because it was just too much too soon. So today, I'm going to do it after the podcast. Yeah, I was smart. Didn't want to be exhausted for the podcast. Going to definitely do that after the podcast. Going to do about 8 miles, do a nice smaller load and work my way back up and try to do it. And I'll tell you what, guys, the moral of the story with this giant story is don't eat cookies, don't eat small things, because doing 20 miles gets you one meal. 20 miles! Got me about 350 calories, which is a very lean meal. That's not even like a steak and potatoes type meal. That's just a really, really small meal. So watch what you eat. diet is everything. Exercise is just helpful for your cardiovascular fitness. And whatever your fitness journey is, just make sure you can maintain your lifestyle. That's my approach to that. So let's go into the dad side of that dad bod story. Tony, how you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm doing good. Thank you, Richie. I love the beard, by the way. I love the hair. You're looking good, looking sexy, trying to take that title away from Marvin. Marvin, happy belated birthday to your mom. So I just wanted to say that as well. Justo.
Thank you, brother.
You're welcome, sir. I'm glad that you were able to get H2G up and going, because that was one of the best parts of my week, was being able to see everything all week long. We had something delivered to you. So hopefully the people that were watching enjoyed that as well. I'm a little tired. Daylight savings time was yesterday, so it's kind of throwing me off. And Halloween was great with Harper. She was really excited. But other than that, that's pretty much all that happened for me this past week. So everything was great. Justo was great. Mama's birthday was great for Mark. Mm-hmm. Richie getting sexy. Me saying that. Other than that, I'm going to kick it over to Christy. What was the best part of your week, Christy?
Hey, Tony. The best part of my week actually just happened right now. So, Richie, instead of running 22 miles, you could just try breastfeeding, because that burns 500 calories. You're welcome.
Wait, really?
Yeah, a day. So I don't have to go and run. That's literally all you just told me.
That's how she gets that body back.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Why am I doing all this work?
I don't know. You should just go have a baby and then breastfeed. Yeah, it's just it's a good time.
Nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
That is one of my favorite boob quotes of all time. Well done. So stay tuned for the rest of the show. We have Kearstin Clark, a crying baby. So you're listening to the H2G podcast.
I love that baby.
I don't speak for the whole town, but don't nobody want a dang girl as sheriff.
What exactly is wrong with a woman being town sheriff?
It's just madness.
Yes, that's it. A metamorphosis. Wait. No. This is not good. Humans are not butterflies. This could cause permanent injury. Or worse, even death, I fear. Undoubtedly others would have fallen prey to this man's sales tactic.
You and Elizabeth.
Oh, I am so much more now.
And soon will be as well. My dear Ava.
Why the hell Briarstone? What did any of these folks ever do to you?
What the Sam hell's going on?
One taste guarantees a life change. Forever.
Welcome back, guys. We got a story. Not thrilled to talk about it, but I think we need to talk about it. Tony kind of put me in this position when he mentioned it. I just thought it was a story that we could really discuss and debate. This is according to ABC News. A 3-year-old boy died at his birthday celebration after finding a family member's gun and accidentally shooting himself in the chest. The incident occurred at approximately 4:15 at a family residence in Porter, Texas, according to the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, when authorities were called to the home and found a 3-year-old boy with a gunshot wound to his chest. Family and friends had gathered earlier to celebrate the birthday of the 3-year-old, and while playing cards, heard a gunshot. The sheriff's office said in a statement released to social media. The child was located with a gunshot wound to the chest. According to the authorities, it was learned that during the investigation, the child has allegedly found the pistol after it fell out of a family member's pocket. So it came out of somebody's pocket. That's how the 3-year-old was able to get a hold of the weapon. The unnamed boy was subsequently rushed to a fire station, and unfortunately he succumbed to his injuries. Circumstances surrounding how the family member lost their firearm at the party was not disclosed. Authorities did not say whether the gun owner acted in an improper or irresponsible manner when it came to safely securing the firearm. So we don't know how the firearm escaped the pocket of this individual. But let's get into this conversation. And I'm not sure who wants to start first, but let me just kind of recap. We had a 3-year-old at their own birthday party. Obviously, people are playing cards. And at some point and somehow, this 3-year-old was able to pick up a gun that fell out of one of the family members' pockets. So we can say, and obviously the circumstances being alleged, that we can't determine if it was irresponsible. I'm going to lean off with, that's irresponsible. I mean, gun's in somebody's pocket. Why do you have a gun that's loaded in your pocket in your family's house? Like, I understand, like, this could have been a different story and a different argument for people. And I don't know my own castmates' opinions, right? We'll see. But if this was like in somebody's house and it was locked away and things of that nature, and you start to run into those conversations, we have a different topic. But to me, the gun came out of a person's pocket. So why is a gun in your pocket in your family's house? That's my question. So if anyone's ready to talk, feel free.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm going to stray away from talking about whether or not I'm not going to answer your question, I don't think, per se, just because I don't care if you do have a firearm. This is an issue of firearm safety. You don't put it in your pocket. That's an old cowboy thing. It's an old gambling thing. And newsflash, idiots, they shot themselves all the time. It should be in a holster. It should be in a buttoned holster. It can be chambered. It should have the safety on. It should have everything it needs if you're going to carry it. And you should know that it's on you and where it is at all times. Period. There's no qualification other than age and a background check to purchase a firearm. That's kind of my problem. Because if you're not required to learn gun safety, then this is going to keep happening. It's just going to keep happening. Guns are going to be out of the safe or out of the holster or out of the pocket, and people are going to find them and people are going to get hurt. And now it's a child, and it's not the first child. It's been going on for a long time. If you buy a firearm, you are making a big move when it comes to responsibilities. I feel like you need to take the CCW course. I've been hunting and shooting guns my entire life, and I've gained a reputation of being pretty good at it. But this would never happen with any of my firearms. None of you at my house would ever even see them. Because it's a respect thing, one. No need to brandish a firearm just because you can. No need to instill that fear and instill that tension. You know, I've got something to say for open carries anyway. I think open carry is incredibly risky. You're in a gas station and somebody walks in with the intent to rob that gas station with a gun and sees the gun on your hip. You've just made their mind up on whether or not they're going to have to shoot somebody to get this done because you've got a gun. So if they're not going to just rob the place, they're going to shoot your dumb ass while you're not even looking at them. So open carry, I think it's idiotic. I think it's putting guns in the face of kids at family functions. And I've got family members that carry responsibly, and you would never know. You would never know that they've got they're honoring their own rights. They're protecting themselves. I'm okay with that because a lot happens in today's day and age. So if you want to arm up, that's fine. But I feel like you need training. You don't just get to buy one because you've turned of age. That's stupid. That's dumb.
Well, I agree with what everyone said so far. And really what it comes down to is negligence, which is what Justin's alluding to. I mean, if you have the stove on, you tell your child, hey, watch out, that's hot. You have the iron on, you tell the child, hey, watch out, that's hot. A, why is the gun not locked up like Justo said? And B, if it fell to the ground, you're telling me that you didn't have time to react to that? I mean, I don't know the size of the gun, but I don't think the size of the gun really should matter. I think you would know that the gun fell down. And then who's watching this kid? He's 3, right? You should at least have an eye or know what's going on. I have 2 kids, and I can tell you at all times that I know what they're doing when they're doing it. Because that's just who I am. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I'm the best dad. I'm just saying that's me as a person. They don't know what they're getting into. Their job is to test everything to see what it is that this world is all about. So I have to protect them because they don't know certain things that's in the house that can be very dangerous to a 3-year-old. That's my biggest takeaway. I'm sorry that this happened to this family. I know you probably have a lot of guilt that's probably going on because, yeah, it was a very idiotic thing that happened. This has to be brought up, and we wanted to talk about it because it's very important. I'm not trying to sway you about which way you should go when it comes to being able to bear arm. I think if you're going to do it, you have to be responsible. 67% of guns that are used, according to the CDC, are of a suicide type of mindset. 1% is accidental. There's 16% that is lawful, which means that a police officer did it. It's just, it's very responsible what you do with a gun. It can take a life, it's a weapon. You have to be mindful. It's very serious. I'm glad we talked about it. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for letting me share.
Yeah, I'm on the same page on different spectrums. I have a different opinion than I think most of the cast will. I don't believe in guns. I think they're like Justin alluded to, they escalate situations, period. They just do inherently because of how easily you can kill somebody with it. And I'm not going to get into the philosophical reasons why I don't believe in them, but the bottom line to me is any weapon escalates situations. And the logic that I always hear is, well, I'm defending myself against the bad guy because the bad guy will have the weapon. And it's like, well, as Tony kind of just mentioned, how often are these weapons really used? Like, there's this idea of in fear in some sense to that. And I carry a pocket knife, but let me clarify, my pocket knife is not designed to stab somebody or defend myself. It's just to open boxes. So people have different reasons for why they choose to do things. I believe a gun is going to escalate a situation 100% of the time, inherently or unintentionally. But to the point of this situation, obviously the gun is the predominant reason this happened, and the negligence of the parents. But I think negligence of parents in general is the reality of this. This isn't the exact same situation and completely different results, but I think of Harambe. When Harambe was killed, it was a 3-year-old boy who snuck in and they had to shoot a gorilla because their parents weren't paying attention. And I think that's the prime example of this. This is, you have parents who neglect their children, right? In unfortunate circumstances, unlike the Harambe thing, a kid was murdered, but I view the Harambe thing in the same horror, right? An unfortunate animal was murdered because of the negligence of the parent. And I've had my friends also tell me who are parents is, man, you don't understand. You don't know how quick this can happen, this, that, and the other. But this is my point. I don't have children for a very intentional reason. And one of which is it's a massive responsibility. And there's a lot of lazy people out there when they do have children. And I don't mean lazy in the sense of they're bad parents. But what I mean is that they get tired. You 24 hours a day, you have to pay attention to this thing. Christy's learning that very quickly. 24 hours a day, all the time. You have to keep your eyes open. You have to be ready and you have to be mindful. That is a responsibility that I'm not prepared to do personally. And this is exactly why. I'm not saying these parents are bad parents. I don't know these people. But what I do know is it's very easy to just not pay attention for a couple seconds. And in this scenario, this was the result. This is an extreme result, but this was a result of that. And I do think the gun has a bigger reason, right? Like if somebody had a knife, Is this likely to happen? Not nearly to the same extent, but who knows? The point being, though, what people need to worry about is not necessarily gun control, this, that, and the other, but I think as people, we need to pay attention to how important it is to pay attention to your children at all times. You don't really have the luxury of not doing it, right? Like, for instance, they're 10 years old, this, that, and the other. They're still children, people. And it's very important for you to understand that that is not their role in society and in your life for them to be responsible. It's yours. And it's really important that you understand that and that you're paying attention to your child. And the moment you shouldn't be paying attention to your child is when they're 18 and they are no longer a child. But until then, even when they're a teenager, you should have that wherewithal. You should be caring, and you should decide, I'm going to see what they're up to. I care about them. It's not being invasive, people. It's but being a parent and being protective. And I think that's really what I feel is very unfortunate about this story, is not from the gun perspective, right? Because again, I'm not going to push my beliefs, but from the perspective of what this is that these parents, for even just a slip of a moment, made a mistake and it cost them their child. And I can't imagine that pain. Obviously, my thoughts are still with the family, but hopefully we don't have to continue as a society to keep hearing stories like this, to learn to watch your children.
I agree with everything you, Tony, Justin, and Richie you just said. There's two parts of it for me. The negligence and the gun safety. It's like you said, Justin, from the beginning. Should they take a CDW course, having more education on actually having a gun. And to me, when you get to the negligence part, why in the hell would you have a gun at a 3-year-old's party anyway? That's the question. Why would you, are you that much of, I don't want to even use the word on this show, and all of you that listen to this know which word I want to use. Are you that much of what we all think you are, that you would have a gun at a child's party, that you can't fight straight up? If you got into a fight, that was the first thing you would go to, with a gun, being around children. So it's negligence on the family's part, and I hate to throw salt in the wound. I don't want to do that. I know they're going through a lot right now, but just think about this is the consequence. This is the consequence of not paying attention for that 1 second. How many stories do we see of children accidentally drowning, or just situations like this that happen all the time because of pure negligence? I don't understand. The education should be not more so on gun safety, should be on how to be a damn parent. I'm not a parent. I don't have kids, but I can imagine, like you and Tony or Christy, and how you both would feel if you were in this position. Because it's not something that you can just be like, oh, we should have just paid attention. It's once something like this happens, it happens and it's gone, and you can't get it, and you can't get that back. And that's the reality of it. And I hate to be that blunt about it, but this is where we're at. How many times have we heard of stories like this? So it's heartbreaking, that this kid, was like many other kids are that inquisitive. They just get into everything, and sometimes it's fatal. So to me, it's just absolutely irresponsible and just flat out stupid to have a firearm at a child's party. And whoever family member that did that, you get the totality of the blame. I'm sorry, you do. It's all your fault.
It takes a village to raise a child, so you need to make sure the people that are around your child are responsible and they have respect for the weapon. I completely agree. And Matt and I, we did our CCW classes, so we do have firearms in the house, but like they're stored properly, and we would never take them to anyone's house, especially without letting them know first. Like, did the parents even know there was a gun there? Was that something they had to be concerned about? Like, that's terrifying. And I would hope that they learned, obviously. Like, that's all you can do in life is learn. So you learn from your mistakes, you learn from other people's mistakes. Just be respectful of weapons. Like, they obviously take lives, and I can't imagine what the family's going through. I'm trying to deal with a crying baby, but I would rather have that than anything else right now. Like, this story really hits home. So, yeah. Goodness.
Yeah, it's tough, guys. I'd love to talk about this more, but we kind of hit our time on this, so we're going to have to move on to Game of the Week. But for those of you who are listening, I think we're all on the same page with this. Be careful with what you're doing. Pay attention to your children. I think that's first and foremost the most important thing. And honestly, Marvin kind of hit it like nail on the head there. Don't bring a gun to somebody's damn birthday party. That makes no sense. So we will see you guys for Game of the Week.
Hi, my name is Abigail Linhart, and I am currently from Kansas. Mostly from Kansas. Today, I'm going to read to you a little passage from the anthology called Clockwork Dragons, and it is published and produced by Zombie Pirate Publishing, and they gave me permission to read this little excerpt from my story to you. I will be reading Glitter Heist by Abigail Linhart. Lily Broussard ran like a plebe through the crowded city streets, her pack empty and her tools waving on her belt. Everyone she tried to dodge past knew the tools of a kleptologist's trade, and so they tried to trip her, grab her, dump flour on her head as she dodged past the peasants. No one would have tried to return any stolen items. They just liked to humiliate those whose business it was to steal from others. In fact, if the loot was good enough, they might take it for themselves. It didn't take her long to enter the streets that had not yet heard of her dastardly attempts to steal a lady's fine jewelry box. She panted, slowing down, hiding her pack under her hooded garments. She tucked the hood under her collar and stowed her grappling gauntlets. With these few adjustments, she almost blended in as a tradesman or traveler. Checking her vial around her neck, she found all the pixie dust gone. No more luck. It hadn't helped anyway. Magic worked well in tandem with tech like her gauntlets, but not so much with making sure no guards randomly chose to walk by the broken window. Where is it? She jumped at the deep, accented voice of her partner, Gar. He took long strides from a side alley to walk next to her. They didn't break their rhythm, making their way to the steamboat in the nearby docks. I couldn't get it, she growled. I knew I should have come, Gar replied, guarded in his tone to not upset her. She was his boss, after all. He unfolded some papers from his coat. The planets weren't aligned. I told you. Lily groaned. All that science, the armillary sphere, the beakers, what do they know? A tactical, educated mind never dismisses the powers of the planet's alignment when working with magic or on a heist. They stopped and she scanned the barges below for one that might not mind 2 stowaways. It wasn't any of that. It was too heavy. Gar grabbed her shoulder and pulled her back to face him. Heavy? How big was this jewelry box? She held her hands about a foot apart in 4 directions. About this big? I can't imagine why it was so heavy. I scratched a painted rune when I tried to budge it. She trailed off. Gar's eyes widened as she spoke. Realization dawned on her and she gasped. It was possessed, they said together. As though she could wash the darkness from a possessed item off her hands, she rubbed them together, a slight shudder making her fingertips twitch. Why would anyone want something like that? Gar shrugged. Can you imagine what we could accomplish with an enslaved entity? Lily frowned up at her companion, not amused at all. Not worth the risk. That stuff is too dark for me. The more important question was the client. What are we going to tell him? Lily asked. I have a reputation to uphold, you know. I don't fail often. Think he'll be mad? Before Gar could answer, someone called out that the lord of the city was passing. They turned to see a parade of crimson-clad soldiers behind them. The mob was moving too swiftly to be a simple procession. They were armed. You don't suppose that's for us, do you? Gar asked, tightening his belt of tools. "Run!" Lily cried as the guards broke into a dash. It seemed that the alarm had been raised, and the Lord Mayor of the city was not about to let all of his subjects know that he had hired heisters to lift a valuable object from a fellow royal. This was not a simple, "You are under arrest for theft." This was a, "I will kill you so no one finds out what you have done" moment. Which barge they jumped on now didn't matter. But no barge was going to leave for at least a few minutes, and the Royal Guard could order a search of any vessel. "That one," Gar pointed to a small sloop that was on its way out to sea. "That's a planetary power sloop," Lily shouted, seeing the glass fuel tanks. It harnessed the magic of the blue planet Visidian, named after a god of water and sailors. When the planet was at its apex, the glass tanks would be laid out in the night to soak up the light. The engines converted it into fuel. This was all well and good, but that fuel was weak and for short journeys. They wouldn't get far. It was better than nothing.
Hey folks, welcome to Game of the Week on the H2G podcast. The game is known as Know Your Star. So we're going to see how well our panel knows their stars. And I'm not talking about constellations. I'm not talking about those kind of stars that are in the sky. I'm talking about celebrities, actors, movies, and TV shows. So this is how it's broken down. Everyone starts off with 10 points. Those 10 points can be wagered later on in the game. However, in the beginning part of the game, I will go to each contestant once. They will pick a decade that they feel that they're most comfortable with. We're doing 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Now, we have a random generator that generates different answers that we're looking for. So I will say an actor. I'll give an example real quick. I'll say Betty White, and we're doing 2000s. And then you're going to say all the movies that Betty White has done in the year 2000 if you can, if you know one. However, the generator is looking for a specific movie, like The Proposal would be the one that it's looking for. If you name one and it's not the one that was by the generator, then you would get 1 point. However, if you do find that one movie that the generator did, you'd get an extra point. So you'd have 2 points. So everyone's going to have a chance to get a point if you know a movie that they've done within that time frame. However, if you name the exact movie that's looked for, you'll get the 2 points. Does that make sense? Did I explain it very well?
It's kind of like Family Feud.
It's kind of, yes, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of. It's just a little different.
A little different. Instead of a fan, it's a generator, but yeah, we got you.
This is going to be hard.
Listen, here's another catch. So let's say it's Richie's turn and Richie doesn't know the answer, the right answer. It will go to a different person. I will ask a simple question like, what's the capital of Ohio? Something that everyone should know. The person that says it first gets to give that answer. So that way there's not too much hostility if I pick Christy because she just looks so beautiful today. I don't want to be unfair. I want everybody to have a chance to be able to get it. All right, so here we go. To start us off, I will start with the lady, not because of favoritism, but the lady gets to choose 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s.
90s.
90s. Okay, so here's the actor. And most of these actors have a lot of movies, but the generator's looking for a specific movie. The actor is Jim Carrey in the 90s.
Oh my goodness. It's Liar Liar 90s?
Liar Liar is 90s. Christy does get 1 point. However, that's not the one we were looking for the double point. So we will go with Marvin. Marvin?
I'm going to have to go with Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura is in the 90s. Marvin gets a point, but that's not the one that the generator's looking for.
That's bullshit.
Richie?
I'm going to go with The Mask.
The Mask is the one that the generator's looking for. However, I won't let you not get a point, Justo. Justo, can you name another 90s movie for
Truman Show.
Say it again.
Truman Show.
Truman Show.
Very good. All right. Because Richie got the 2 points, Richie gets to choose. Do we stay with the 90s or are we going to a different decade?
Ooh, that's hard because it's like, yeah, the 90s is something I may know.
Don't be a dick.
But if I pick a different decade, I might screw somebody.
Don't do it.
Let's go with the 60s.
Oh, we're fucked.
All right.
Such an old soul.
60s. The 60s. I need a movie by Paul Newman in the 60s.
Oh crap! I feel like I overstepped my boundaries here.
Did.
I got nothing.
Nothing for Richie. That's okay. Not even a guess, huh? Okay.
No, because I don't know a 60s one, so I don't. No,
That's okay. All right. So we're gonna work backwards. Justo.
Man. Paul Newman.
Oh boy.
I don't know, man.
All right.
I don't know. Was he in Casablanca?
Was he in Casablanca? He wasn't in Casablanca. Marvin, do you have a stab for us? And before you say anything, I do want to let you know you are on mute, my friend. But that you might be on mute just because you don't want us to hear you cussing right now.
Yeah, that was it.
I know.
Just tough, man. I know it is.
I have a feeling we won't be coming back to the 60s after this.
So.
Oh, if I score again, we will.
Which I think there's this movie called like Butch like Cassidy Butch, like Butch Cassidy or something.
We'll get it. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance. Yeah, I remember seeing like part of that.
Guess what? That's the actual movie that the generator was looking for. So I'm going to, if everybody's okay, I'm going to give Marvin 1 point and I'm going to give Richie 1 point because Richie helped Marvin get that point. Is everybody okay with that?
That was the only movie I knew.
That's fair.
So we'll give Marvin the
I've
one.
only seen 20.
We'll split the two because it was kind of a team effort. Christy, do you want to try to score another point?
That was the only movie I knew.
I like to keep it fair. Because Richie technically still got a point, we're going to keep it with Richie. Richie, do you want to go 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s?
I'm going to defer to Marvin because even though we both got it, he started it off. So Marvin, what would you like?
Okay. Then we're gonna go to strike now. We're gonna do the 80s here.
Okay, we're gonna go to the 80s. Now, this one I was waiting for because this is one of my favorites. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this one.
It's gonna be Kevin Costner.
No, it's not gonna be.
Not 80s.
That's for me. That's not for you.
And the answer is one of those movies that we were supposed to watch 3 seasons ago.
Now, only movies during the 80s for Eddie Murphy. And the generator's looking for a specific one, but movies during the 80s. Marvin, you get to go.
Okay, a specific movie during the 80s for Eddie?
It's got to be Eddie Murphy in the 80s, and I'm looking for a specific movie. But you can gain 1 point if you just know one in the 80s, baby boy.
Okay, and he has to be the lead in this movie, right?
He's just in the movie.
In the movie, not lead. In the movie.
Just in the movie. Okay. Oh. I want to say, damn, there's a lot of good 80s. Let me see. 80s. Eddie, I'm going to say Trading Places.
Trading Places is one, but it's not.
I just wanted to play it safe.
That's not the one that we were looking for, but Marvin, you at least still have a point.
I'm going to play it safe.
Good choice.
Christy, it is your turn now. During the 80s, Eddie Murphy.
There's one movie that I know a quote, but I don't know the name of it. Shoot. Shoot. Oh my God. It's like Dr. something. Oh, shoot.
Are you thinking of Dr. Dolittle?
No. Maybe it's not Dr. something. No, it's like the Hercules.
No, that's still the 90s. That's the Nutty Professor.
Oh, Nutty Professor. Oh, all right. Well, then I don't think I have the
I think they're before her time, unfortunately, Tony.
That's okay. We're going to go with Richie. Richie. Or I'm sorry.
How about Justin? Let Justin go first.
Go ahead, Justin.
Was Coming to America in the 80s?
Yes, it was.
America was in the 80s. However, it is not the one that the generator's looking for. So, Justo, you do get a point. And now it's up to Richie.
So I just like to say that's my favorite Eddie Murphy movie, period. Coming to America is amazing. I've heard there's going to be a sequel. Really want to see it. I really thought that's what the generator would have picked, but then we're just going to have to go with Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly Hills Cop is a one-pointer, Richie. It's not the one that the generator was looking for. The generator was looking for Harlem Nights.
Okay. Really?
Fair.
That's one of my favorites too.
I love the white suit, man.
See, I keep thinking this is the generator's favorites.
No. The generator pre-picked all these. It's not me, okay?
Don't
do that. All right, Richie, are we going back to the 60s or do you want to do a different decade?
You know what? Everyone was so angry about the 60s, so we'll do the 70s. All right?
All right, so we're going to
70s is a little bit of a warmer era.
All right, so we're going to do the 70s. So here we go. Everybody, get ready. Robert Redford. I need a 70s movie. Robert Redford. If you don't know who Robert Redford is, he was in Captain America. He was the bad guy with the gray hair. That's our decade. That's not the 70s, but I want you to know that's who the actor is. And we're going to start off with Richie, since you did get the point last time. Robert Redford in the 70s.
Okay, this is honestly the only one I know that I know is in the 70s specifically, because it's the beginning of the 70s. The Candidate.
Okay, The Candidate is not the one I was looking for. Okay, I do apologize about that, but you do get a point. All right, Justo.
I got nothing.
Also, it's on HBO Max, guys. Plug.
You got nothing?
I got nothing.
Don't even want to take a guess?
No, it sounds worse when I guess wrong.
Okay. That's okay. That's all right. Christy. And then we'll go to Marvin last. Christy, Robert Redford, 70s movie. The generator's looking for something specific.
I did not even know who the guy was. So.
Wait. Can I throw her a bone? Maybe I can give her a hint?
Yes.
Okay, Christy. There is a remake of the movie he did in the 70s. Leonardo DiCaprio was played in this movie. And it was a remake. So this movie was made before, and it's a book. Leonardo DiCaprio was the main character, and Robert Redford played this character as well in 1974. What's a recent movie with Leonardo DiCaprio that was a book that wasn't the first release of this movie? It was really popular.
Well, I wish I had all that. I know the answer to that one. Jesus.
Dude, I have no idea. All I'm thinking is
I gave it to her because I knew you'd get it. I think it's more fun that she doesn't know. That's why I'm doing it.
Well, the Hollywood one, that's new, but what?
He does this with the glass, and he looks at the camera all stupidly. Marvin's so ready to. Marvin, just so you know, you get to answer next, so even if she doesn't get it, brother.
I only know the meme with the glass. I don't even know what movie that's from. Oh shoot! Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, dang it.
No, it's not the Wolf of Wall Street.
Marvin.
The Great Gatsby.
The Great Gatsby is a 2-pointer. It is the one that the
You just gave Marvin the win.
For color, I know I've lost my point already, but was he also in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid?
Was he in the Butch Cassidy?
No, that was.
Oh yeah, Butch Cassidy was. It was in '69. Yeah, you're right. He was in that. I just didn't have it down because we were doing.
I was mad that I missed the other one. I'm bad at names.
Yeah, that's who. He, there's a lot. There's The Candidate, The Sting, The Great Gatsby, The Great Waldo Pepper, 3 Days of the Condor. He was in a lot of All the President's Men.
Yeah, this was his decade.
So I had to do Robert Redford. Yeah, The Bridge Too Far.
Yeah, it was a great choice.
All right, Marvin. You got the 2 points. What decade are we going to?
We'll go back to the 90s.
We're going back to the 90s.
All right, 90s kid. Let's go.
The generator is looking for a movie by Kevin Costner. In the 90s.
That's hilarious. Let's go. I've listened enough.
All right.
I know these.
So I start with me? Okay. All right. We're going to do Field of Dreams.
You're going to do Field of Dreams?
Yeah.
Okay. And you want that 1 pointer, huh?
Yeah, I want that one because I don't know a Costner like that. Now we're going to pretend I do.
All right. That's okay.
But I'm still doing my homework from season 1, Tony. I'll still watch that Costner movie you told me to.
Hey, it's okay. I like it. Christy, Kevin Costner movie during the 90s.
Shoot. Does he have a lot? Because I'm going to feel real terrible.
He hasn't. Just like the 70s we were just in, this is like another dude in the 90s. He dominated this decade. He made more movies than I can count.
And don't get him mixed up with Richard Gere. That's the same, but don't do that. It almost tripped me up.
For the casual fan that's listening and they know that Field of Dreams was in ’89, I do have to take the point away from Marvin because I do want to keep it fair.
Well, it's like fantasy football. It happens, so
Pretty close.
Just take away the points.
But he was in Field of Dreams. It just was outside of the decade.
He just was not in the 90s, my friend.
So, folks, we have a challenge on the play, and I lost, so I will lose the point.
Christy.
He wasn't in Twister, was he? What's that?
Not in Twister.
Who's that guy?
He's not in Twister.
Thinking of Bill Paxton.
Oh. They look the same.
White guys.
I was going to say
white guys. It's all just saying.
Sheesh.
All right, Richie.
Ooh, I get to go. Okay. Well, see, this is the problem, Tony. I know a billion, but I don't know which one the 2-point one is. So give me a second. I want to think what the generator would pick. Because this is he's got some big movies in the 90s. You know what was a flop, and this isn't my pick? Justin, if you need one as backup, Waterworld actually went really terrible in the budget. That was something that was supposed to be a huge hit and ended up being terrible, and Kevin hated filming the whole movie. But that's not what I'm picking. It's between two. I'm going to go with Dances with Wolves. Dang it! All right, well, I know it's a point. I just, dang it.
Dancing with Wolves is a point. However, it's not the one that the generator was looking for. So, it's all up to you, Justin. Can you get that 2-point, or are you going to just get 1?
See, and he gave me a free one, and I'm going to throw it away by getting the actor wrong. Was that him and Jack Frost?
Jack Frost. You mean
Michael Keaton?
It was Michael Keaton. I was like, it's either him or Michael Keaton.
You see, man, it trips you up. You think these guys are all the same?
Tony. My other guess would have been The Bodyguard, potentially, as the 2.
And The Bodyguard was the one that the generator...
yeah, I forgot about that.
Tough, man.
That was the one that the generator had picked.
Such a great movie for Whitney Houston in it.
Yes.
And blame Bobby Brown for making it.
Let's not forget Robin Hood. That was a great movie.
Yeah, Robin Hood was good.
And JFK.
I forgot about Robin.
All right, so we're gonna change things up real quick. We're gonna let Christy and Justin pick a decade.
Okay.
And then we're gonna go into the final part. All right, so let's try to get you some points here. No one got the 2-pointer. Only Richie and Marvin. Oh, actually, only Richie scored on that last one. But it's looking really good for Richie this week. So, Justin, which decade do you want to go to? 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s to see if we can get you on the board?
I think my best shot's in the 90s.
All right,
I think
the 90s.
I like movies, but I'm bad at this whole actor to the...
You probably will not like this pick. But we're going to go with it. I need a movie by Joe Pesci in the 90s.
You got this, Justin.
My Cousin Vinny.
My Cousin Vinny is a pick, but it's not the one that I was looking for. And also, yeah.
Oh, I bet I know what it is too.
Yeah, My Cousin Vinny, that's a good one.
I think you know which one. This is one I'm gonna guess, Justin.
All right, so we're gonna go with Marvin.
Oh, it's on me now. Okay. Gonna go with Casino.
Casino is another great pick. However, Casino is not the one that I was looking for.
Give me my points, ref.
But you get that point. And it was in 1995, so you're good, my friend.
Yeah.
Christy, can you take the thunder from Richie? Because Richie's feeling real good right now.
Hey, Justin, you want to tell me what that other one is? Scream?
Yeah.
What? Oh, what are you doing?
That was probably going to sound great
Is that
on
not
the playback.
Scream?
No.
What is that?
Oh my gosh.
You're all alone on this one.
You're all alone in your home.
Home Alone?
Home Alone is one, but it's not the one we were looking for. The generator didn't have that one.
Who the heck is Joe Pesci?
It's Home Alone too.
Who the heck is Joe Pesci? Oh my god.
That is disgusting.
Oh my gosh, I love this so much. All right, Richie.
This is where it's tricky because the person in me wants to assume if it's not Home Alone that it's Home Alone 2, but it could also be, as I mentioned before, JFK. Or I'm just gonna go with this because it's one of my favorite movies. I'm gonna go with Lethal Weapon 4. This is a random guess. Lethal Weapon 4.
So Lethal Weapon 4 is on there for the 1 point, but is not the movie that the generator was looking for. So everyone scored 1 point. That's an amazing thing. I am so happy. Thank you guys. The 2 point that the generator picked was The Goodfellas.
The Goodfellas. That's what it was. Goodfellas.
I was gonna maybe Cousin Vinny, but Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Casino and Goodfellas is almost like the same movie because it's like the same role he plays.
All right, Christy. Which decade do you want?
Still trying to picture who the heck Joe Pesci is.
You know Joe Pesci.
You'll know later. You'll
Is he
figure
the
it out.
short?
He's a shorter guy.
Yeah, he's a short guy.
In Home Alone.
Okay, all right, got it.
He talks like this.
He's got the Boston accent. 90s. Sorry.
Man, you guys are running me dry on the 90s here. Okay, sweet. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to, I need a movie in the 90s by Uma Thurman. Uma Thurman.
Which one to pick? That's
When's it come back to me?
Ooh, I don't know if that's the 90s. Wait, do we have to be specific with like volume 1, 2, blah, blah, blah?
No.
It's gotta. No, you don't. But just remember, it's gotta actually be in the decade. Marvin missed it by 1 year.
I think Kill Bill. That was wasn't it like one of the later ones in the 90s?
No. Gosh, you're super young. That was in 2003.
2003.
Oh, Well, then my other one is definitely.
Yeah, everybody knows that. Okay.
Oh my God, my bad.
Come on.
All right, Marvin.
Pulp Fiction.
Beautiful
Guess
guess.
what? That is the 2-pointer right there. So everyone can get a point, at least 1 point. But Marvin, you got 2 points. All
It's
right.
like the only pivotal movie in the 90s she was in.
Richie and Justo. Movie for Uma Thurman in the 90s.
I'll let Justin go first.
Charlie's
Whatever you'd
Angels.
I don't think she was in Charlie's Angels.
She wasn't with the third one. Who is it then? We got Lucy Liu,
Drew Barrymore, Lee, and Charlize, or Cameron Diaz.
Oh,
Sorry,
it was
I almost said
Cameron
Charlize.
Diaz. Well, I fail.
So it's okay.
Well, I'm just gonna pick a terrible movie she was in. She was in Batman and
Oh, that
Robin.
was.
and
I
Poison.
thought
forgot
that was
that
bad.
existed. That was terrible. You never put George Clooney
thought
in the
that was
driver's
whack?
seat.
That would be the one that
I thought Clooney did a good job.
that would be the one I would do.
That's the only Clooney. That and the staring at goats thing.
Side note: that Batman suit had nipples.
The
That was
great
one of the few
suit. He was in shape.
It's a great.
Yeah, he was in
suit.
shape. Tell you
All right,
what.
listen, we're going to do some real quick tallies. You stay tuned. You're watching the H2G podcast. We'll be back for phase 2 of Game of the Week.
Do you really want to talk about this right now? I can't forget if I'm so loud. You know I wanted you. Did you read my mind? I know you did. You knew I wanted holding your breath. We broke the glass. I know you wanted Let's go. I'll take you now. Let's go. You know.
All right, welcome back, viewers. Glad that you joined us for Game of the Week. We're going into phase 2, which is going to be a little bit different, but let me give you a recap of where we stand right now. So as of right now, Richie has 18 points, Justo has 13 points, Marvin has 18 points, and Christy has 12 points. But this is where the game gets interesting, because now we're going to go decade by decade, and we're going to do TV shows. So I'm going to name an actor. You only get one guess at what the generator picked. You also get to wager your points that you have right now. You can do all of them. You can do 2 of them, 3 of them, 4 of them, whatever it is. But this is where you can take a chance to see if you can win the game from where we are. Richie has something to say. Go ahead.
I got a question.
Yes.
This is very important. I'm sure you'll answer. When we're wagering, are we wagering before we know what decade it is and actor and etc.? Or is it after?
No. You will know the decade.
Okay.
And then I will say, Justo, I need a TV show by blank. And then Justo will then wager his points. But see, I think it would be more fun if we all answer the TV show to see what the points are. But I kind of like doing the individual because it kind of makes it a little bit more fun.
No, that's okay. I just wanted to know when we had to guess.
Right when we get to the decade.
Okay.
I have it because there's a decade and there's an actor, and you have to name the TV show for each person that's on the game with us today. So that's a great question, Richie, and hopefully that helped you out right there.
It did.
Going with that, between Richie and Marvin, because they are tied, whoever says this first, come off of mute, both of you. Whoever answers this question first gets to go first. So here we go. I need a state that's in the United States that starts with an A.
Alabama.
Richie goes first. Richie, we're going to start with 60, just to get that out of the way. So, Richie, I need a TV show that the generator's looking for Bob Denver. Bob Denver.
Oh my God. Do I wager points or no, I don't have to?
You can wager points or you don't have to wager points. It's up to you.
I'll wager points, actually.
Okay.
I'm going to wager 10 points.
10 points.
Because I believe I know what I think the generator is going to want. Do I pick the decade or do I just pick the show?
You pick the show that's in the 60s by Bob Denver.
Okay, come on, Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan's Island is the correct answer that the generator was looking for. So you earned 10 points with the 10 points. So now you're at 38 points, my friend. 38 points. All right. Justo. We're staying in the 60s. I need a TV show that the generator is looking for Barbara Eden. Barbara Eden. Know your stars. Do you know your stars, ladies and gentlemen? That's
Hell no.
Can I do a little coaching without giving anything away?
Sure.
Justin, you do know this person. You don't know the name. But she was super prominent in TV Land and those old shows. I promise you've seen the show that she's in. I promise you.
I probably have. But I'm not going to wager any points.
You've dreamt of her, I promise.
Was she in Three's Company?
No.
Is that even in the 60s?
It's okay. It's okay because you didn't wager your points.
You didn't wager points?
You're good.
Oh, yeah, I was smart.
You were smart. Christy, we're going to do Elizabeth Montgomery in the 60s. Elizabeth Montgomery. And Barbara Eden was I Dream of
Jeannie. That's what I was saying you dream of. Yeah.
Elizabeth Montgomery. Any hints there, Richie?
What, you can't do it on your own? No merit? I'll give you a hint. Same setup. TV Land. Let's see here.
So let's do 2 points.
Okay.
And Bewitched.
Bewitched is correct. So you earned 4 points, and now you're at 16. Marvin.
Sweet.
You ready, my friend? Here we go.
Ready.
All right. Jerry Mathers. Jerry Mathers 60s. Jerry Mathers.
Jerry Mathers 60s. Can I get a hint or something? Like, I mean,
I'm gonna leave it to you.
Marvin. Also, he watched in TV Land, and he's gonna leave it.
He's gonna what?
He's gonna leave it to you.
Leave it to you, Marvin.
Leave it to you.
I think Mel Gibson also did a movie with this, the last word that I think you need.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right. No. I got it. Leave it to Bieber.
Oh, but how many points are you wagering?
Oh, any points?
This is all of them.
No, I just wager 5.
5 points. Okay, I got you. Nice.
I can't do 10. I can't say a wager after I get it right.
No, sir. There's got to be some pressure. All right, so we're going to the final part. 38, Richie. 13, Justin. He played it safe. 28 by Marvin and 16 to Christy. She was a little hesitant on the 2 points, but she still can do something here. We're going to go to the 90s that everybody loves, and this is for all the marbles. Because you're in last place, Justo, I'm going to let you go first.
Oh, snap.
I need a TV show in the 90s. The generator's looking for a specific one for Mario Lopez. Mario Lopez 90s.
Saved by the Bell, or are all my points Saved by the Bell?
Saved by the Bell.
Oh, my points. Everything I have.
I only got 13, so I can only get to 26, which is less than you have now. So.
No.
But if we wager points and lose, Justin,
you win the game. It can happen.
Don't forget that.
All right, so Justo's at 26 points. Now we're going to Richie. Richie, the generator is looking for a specific TV show in the 90s by Luke Perry.
Damn it. See, I wish we were back in the 60s, I'll be honest. I know Luke Perry is like super popular. I do know one show, but I'm just worried the generator's not going to pick it. Damn, why couldn't we do the 60s white girls? I love them. I'm going to go with Beverly. Oh, wait, I got to pick points first. I'm going to put points. I'll put, how much do I have? A 38. Marvin has what, 28?
28, yep.
So if Marvin puts all his marbles, he'll have, I got to do some math here, 56. So I'm at 38. Well, screw it. I'll put in all the points. All the points, all of them. Throw them in. 38 points. Beverly Hills 90210. It's gotta be.
Beverly Hills 90210. Richie, you've got 76 points now. That's what the generator was looking for. We probably don't even need to continue, but for fun, we will. So, Marvin, for all your points, I'm guessing, I need a TV show in the 90s by Tim Allen.
This is such bullshit. I'm going to go with Home Improvement.
Home Improvement.
That's all. All my points.
Correct. You
all my points.
You got 56 points.
Should be going into a tiebreaker right now.
16 points on the line, or you could have 32 points just for fun. Here we go. I need a TV show in the 90s by Jason Alexander.
I knew all of the other ones, and I have no clue who this
hold on.
Think of Shallow Hound.
Shallow Hound needs a gal. You know the guy,
right
his
here.
best friend.
Still don't know?
Who? No.
Jason Alexander? No. You don't?
No.
Okay, can I give her a hint? Can I give her a massive hint?
You got anybody else?
He was in a show, and the show's name was the comedian's name, literally in the 90s. It was his last name. That's all it was.
Wait, he's the comedian.
No, he's in the show, and the show's name is the most famous comedian in the 90s. It's literally his last name and nothing else. One of the most popular TV shows of all time.
What?
I've been helping all of you as much as humanly possible. I can't spoon feed this more.
It's the last name of a famous comedian.
And the show was in the 90s. It was the most popular TV show ever. Literally the highest rated series finale of all time in the 90s.
Giving you a lot of signs. You just have to feel through it.
Was like Bernie Mac or Mac? What?
Just gave you the hint. He gave you the...
Oh, I totally missed it. What did you say?
I said he's giving you all the signs, Christy. You just have to field through it.
Field.
I mean, it's close. It's
field.
Say it again.
Field.
Say it.
Field.
Say it again. Now, what does it sound like?
I have no effing clue.
Oh, Christy, you need to really think about it.
First name's Jerry.
Oh, Seinfeld. Seinfeld.
It's Seinfeld. It wasn't. I was trying.
You know.
Okay. For just.
Okay. Who is this guy?
Hold on, just for fun, Christy. No points. I need a TV show in the 90s by Bob Saget.
Bob Saget. That'd be Full House.
Yes, there you go.
Honestly, that was Christy felt like trying to teach a kid how to read.
Dude. Well, we covered earlier, don't know how to read.
Listen, folks, it was awesome. I enjoyed Game of the Week. I don't know if the contestants enjoyed Game of the Week. I had a lot of fun making this up and trying to educate the different decades and the talent. It is Know Your Stars. We might have another edition later on. It just depends if I ever win again, because you can only do Game of the Week if you win. So not only does Richie win this week, but he also wins the fact that he has to do Game of the Week next week. So we're signing off. H2G podcast.
Richie's got a victory point.
Victory point for Richie.
Mm-hmm.
Stay tuned. We got more coming at you.
Hi, guys. You are listening to the H2G podcast. My name is comedian Tony Watson. Yes, that is my real name. My mom must have just knew that I was going to be funny. Here's a joke. I am fat. Yeah, I don't have a shirt on right now. So I'm looking right at it. Just take my word. You learn a lot about yourself when you gain weight, you know? Like, I definitely eat too much in my car to not have tinted windows. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's starting to become a problem. I would just really like some privacy when I'm crying and stuffing an entire Taco Bell party pack down my throat. The problem is that I drive a white van. Yeah, I can only really think of one reason why a white van would need tinted windows. That's just if they're trying to steal a kid. Yeah, not me. I'm just self-conscious. You know what I mean? So if I was trying to kidnap somebody, they could easily outrun me. I would try to give them candy, but I already ate all of it. So, all right. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.
Welcome back, folks. We're going to talk about something a little more lighthearted and something I think we have at least one person on the panel can talk about with personal experience. A California athlete's speed is going viral for an unusual reason after she ran a mile in under 6 minutes while 9 months pregnant. 9 months pregnant. McKenna Myler, I think I'm saying that right. McKenna Myler, 28, said her doctors cleared her to continue running the Valor Track Club in Orange County 5 to 6 times a week while pregnant. So she did run 5 to 6 times a week while pregnant. Her husband, Mike, bet her $100 she could not run a mile in under 8 minutes. She decided to take on the challenge only 1 week before her due date. The runner crushed the goal, finishing with a time of 5 minutes and 25 seconds. Just so you know, the average time for a female runner to complete a mile is 10 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm not even going to read all the quotes other than her husband, because he should have said this, and I agree. Someone checked the Guinness stats. My wife is an absolute champion. 5 minutes and 20. I'll tell you what, I'm not like an Uncle Rico. Let me clarify. I don't have like fake history I create. I have never run a mile in 5 minutes and 20. The fastest mile I ever ran was 5:51. I remember specifically because I was so proud I was under 6 minutes. 5:25. 1 week before she was due, 9 months pregnant. We got to start off with Christy. Christy, how'd she do it?
Oh, I mean, so if you're active before you're pregnant, you can just keep being active. So I want to know how quick she is while not pregnant. She's probably doing like a maybe 4.5 minute mile, which would be amazing. No, that's probably really, really fast.
That's too fast. But.
I mean, I was walking at least 10,000 steps, like even like the day we went into the hospital. So, I mean, as long as you stay active, but I couldn't do that. I maybe could run a mile while I was pregnant, but not a quick mile. I can't do that now.
5 minutes and 25 seconds.
Nope.
I don't like Orange County. So clearly she's rich and she's white. Those are obvious things.
Oh, damn.
So she had the resources.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Get this done.
Let me clarify. It's to have the resources to be able to facilitate a lifestyle which would allow this. That's what I'm referring to. But 5 minutes and 25 seconds. That is fucking insane to me. Like, take the baby out of the equation. That is just insane fitness. That is crazy. I can't even, like, Mike's an idiot. And I say this and also, like, think about it. How could he, if his wife was running a mile 5 to 6 times a week, was he not watching her run at all? Why would he think she couldn't do in under 8 minutes if he was, clearly he wasn't paying attention. Because I would never, unless he wanted to gift her $100, maybe that's what this really is. Because it seems pretty evident this woman was always running this fast. Let's be honest. It's not like she magically ran 5:25 at the end of her pregnancy and she wasn't running these types of numbers before or had the ability to run these numbers before.
I mean, that's amazing to me because I think I ran 6 minutes on the 100-yard dash. So for her to be able to do that in a mile, and I wasn't even the first one to be picked, to run track. I thought I was moving fast, but apparently I wasn't. So, but to do that on a mile, that's absolutely incredible. To be pregnant is absolutely incredible, but I'm right there with both of you. If she could do that being pregnant, I'd like to know what she can run not being pregnant.
Right. I agree with you.
That's definitely the one that I need to know right there because that's hands down. I'm going to give you a round of applause. That's absolutely amazing. Great story. I'm glad that we could be able to share that. But wow, under 6 minutes, mile, pregnant lady, 9 months, about to give birth. Wow.
And let's even give her more due. Under 5.5, right? 5 minutes, 25 seconds. That's crazy. Marvin, what's your fastest?
Either like she's really like money hungry or like she's training for the Olympics. Because like you said, to even be that close to that kind of time, doing those kind of numbers, she was doing that before she got pregnant. So this was kind of like,
she's a beast.
She's a beast. She is definitely a beast. And it just shows you like how dedicated someone is to their training. Like to be able to like still do that while pregnant. That is like very impressive. And Christy, I believe you could do it. It just depends on, like I said, what's at stake. $100 was at stake for her. So we clearly see, like Richie says, I don't know if it has to do with her being white, but, the money.
Marvin, I definitely think that we both probably would run that fast if a bear was coming after us.
I think so.
They tell us not to run. You're supposed to stand your ground, but I think I'd be gone. See you later.
Yeah, I would be out.
Yeah, we already know the plan. You're going to leave me to stand the ground.
That's what we decided.
And
we're going to push you down.
Push you down.
Still alive.
And go get milkshakes, right?
Yes, and we'll see you at the mall.
I'm gonna be the bad guy. I don't think there's any way you can run that time without physically straining your body. Even if you are in complete shape, you are definitely putting your body to the test. There's no way that's healthy. Running might be healthy. There's no way pushing to your peak is healthy while pregnant. I don't think.
So you're going to be the asshole.
I'll be the asshole. You were the asshole last week, so I'll take it this week.
I'll say this much. I don't know. I'm not to judge Justin. I could lean with you in the sense of it's very possible that it's not, but I have a feeling like, again, that she was talking to her doctors the whole time, that I'm pretty sure there's some sort of clearance for her to be able to do that. But I'm with you. Possible health risk, I don't know, but assuming, like, according to the story in the article, they had talked to their doctor. The crazy thing is there is a video, so you can see this woman booking it, and she looks like Usain Bolt. It's insane. Like, just a quick recap, guys. I talked about the Peloton, right? I was doing 4-minute 10 miles on my bicycle, and this woman ran one 9 months pregnant in 5:25. Now, obviously, they're not comparable. She's an athlete. I'm clearly just out of shape, but that's incredible, guys. Like 5:25, man. That's crazy. I saw this and I honestly thought it was a hoax. Because, you see that stuff on Facebook all the time. And then it was brought to our attention again. And I'm in shock. Like, this woman, McKenna, you are an impressive person, period. Like, regardless of being pregnant, because what we talked about is you clearly do this as a lifestyle. And that's amazing to me. Insane. So
can't wait to see you win your gold medal.
Yeah. You better be training for them Olympics, girl. You're still in that age. I don't know how it's gonna work with COVID and stuff, but if anyone can do it, you are close to that world record. I believe it's like 450 something is like the fastest mile. I don't know, something like that. Anyways, that's gonna do it for the segment again, though, guys. Craziness. Maybe the next time Christy gets pregnant, we'll put her up to the challenge. It'll be an H2G podcast exclusive. She'll do it on
not
video.
happening.
No, we'll give.
One and done.
10 minutes and 40. 10:40. Okay. If not, maybe we can convince Carrie to have a third. Tony, maybe. He don't look like you. All right, we'll figure it out. Marvin or Justin, maybe, because I'm not gonna have a kid. That's decided. That's not gonna happen. So until
we can
then,
just hook you up to a pregnancy suit.
Oh, pregnancy suit, and then I run it.
Yep.
I don't feel like that's the same.
You just add that extra 20 pounds.
It takes the risk out.
It does take it takes the risk out. All right, well, maybe I'll run a pregnant run in a pregnant suit, H2G down the road. But stay tuned because we have an amazing, talented guest artist spotlight. You're listening and watching to the H2G podcast.
Okay.
Alrighty, welcome back to the H2G podcast. It is again my favorite time of the show, and we have another amazing talent with us today, Mrs. Kearstin Clark. How are you, ma'am?
I am amazing. How are you guys?
Oh, doing well. These are the guys. We lost Christy temporarily. We know she's a new mom, but she'll be back. We've got Richie Phillips, Marvin Scott, and Tony Ray up in the house.
How are you?
What's up, Kearstin?
She gave you guys more applause than I ever.
I know, we get applause. He's my favorite guest ever. I've never gotten applause from the artist.
So, Kearstin,
we needed that kind of energy.
We did.
I found Kearstin's music the same way I found Charlie and so many others. Quarantine Karaoke. I got to give them a shout out again. So many talented people just flooding that with good music every day. Kearstin, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay, so I'm 25 years old and I'm a singer-songwriter, but I also tattoo full time. So I have to balance the two. But recently I decided to focus more on my music because I really love music and I love singing. And it wasn't really until the past year that I realized how much I wanted to do it. I'm actually in the studio right now. I'm recording my first single. I'm in the sound booth doing this interview. So
do any of your songs reflect the tattoos that you're wearing?
Ooh, nice fucking question.
I don't know, actually.
Medusa?
No, actually they don't. I never thought about that though. Maybe I should write a song about being tattooed or the symbolism of it. It's a good idea.
No problem. I just thought, since you have such good work on, that something would have to be about it, but I guess you're gonna work that out, right?
Oh yeah, no, now it's definitely on my list. I promise you. I guarantee you by the end of this week, I will have a song written about it now. Guaranteed.
Wait.
Okay.
See Tony out here giving people inspiration, man.
That's why you got applause.
Hell yeah.
So Kearstin, you mentioned you're working on your single. What's your creative process been like?
Honestly, whenever I write songs, it usually stems from a word or a phrase or a feeling. It just depends. The one that I'm working on today, it's called Not Another, and it's about pretty much being, your own person, independent woman. And, you go to the bar and you have all these other women that, a guy buys them a drink and it's oh, okay, just give them the time of day. And that's not who I am, I really value myself as a woman. So that's what the song's pretty much about.
I like that. I'm looking forward to hearing it when it comes out.
Yeah, I'm so excited. We literally just started recording it today. And I had this other band come in and they were throwing other instrumentals on it. And it sounds so amazing. I'm super excited to release it.
That's awesome. So Kearstin, I can relate to your feeling. I toured a long time ago. We're not going to talk about it, but I remember that feeling and something that I wish I would have thought about back then. Where do you feel? I'm sorry. If this was a bookmark in your career, what are some of your proudest moments coming up to this bookmark, and what do you hope to have past this bookmark?
So one moment that really stands out to me is when I first started playing shows, and I sang the song called All I Want by Codaline, and I sang it in this really, really busy bar, and I was totally new with music, so obviously I was pretty much background noise. Everybody's just laughing, drinking with their friends, throwing stuff at each other, the usual, small town bar stuff. But I sang that song, and I remember I was so nervous. I was looking at my iPad the whole time, make sure I didn't mess up any of the words or chords. And I had looked up, and when I looked up, everybody in the bar had turned around and they were staring at me. And that was a really pivotal moment in my life, because I was well, maybe, my voice is enough to where it does captures people's attention in a setting like that, especially.
Oh, sorry. I'm excited. I'm excited because
I'm excited too.
I am the biggest interview hog ever, so I was trying to let the guys go first. We're all muted.
It's so true. It's so true.
It's so true. You have no idea. Our last guest, we usually do about 30 minutes. 15 of it was me talking to her the whole time. So, I'm really bad about it. Unfortunately, the boys gave me a chance. So it's too late. You're gonna have to wait your turn. Actually, what I've been wanting to ask, because Tony had mentioned it, and you mentioned tattoos. What's your favorite tattoo that you have on yourself?
Probably my whole back. I have a tiger on it.
Cool. I saw that on your Facebook. I didn't want to say anything, but that looked great.
Yeah, no, that's definitely. We're 33 hours deep into that tattoo. It's still not done, so it's been a process, but it's definitely worth it.
So, what made you want to get a tiger on your back?
Every tiger has their own stripes. Not every tiger is the same. And I think that kind of represents me as an artist and as a person. And also my tiger has green eyes, which I got from my mom. We both have green eyes. So that's really symbolic too.
Cool. Question for you. Are all of your tattoos, do you put some thought into them, or have you ever just gone on a whim?
Some of them. So before I really started getting tattooed, I was I'm never going to get dumb stuff on me. It's always going to be meaningful. Well, now I have pizza tattooed on the side of my hand with a heartbeat because pizza is life. So that kind of went out the window. I was like, you know what? I mean, it is meaningful, but it's not that meaningful. I'm never going to stop loving pizza though. So I think it was a pretty good decision.
Okay. So that's your silliest one for sure.
Yeah.
Do you have any, beyond the back one being your favorite and obviously like with your mother's eyes and things like that, is there any other ones that you kind of hold near and dear? Because it seems like
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So my whole sleeve, well, it's not done yet. I'm the only weirdo I know that didn't finish their sleeve but got their whole back tattooed. But I just really wanted my back tattooed. But my sleeve to start it out, so I have like a skull with a moth. I don't know if you guys can really see it. But I have that on my forearm. And that I got that because a lot of people say, you know, they live with their heart on their sleeve. But I like to think that I live with death on my sleeve because I live every day like it's my last. And then also off that, I have like a human, like alive hand, and then a skeleton hand. I'll show you guys better. And they're like breaking a wishbone. So that also represents life and how fragile it can be. And you never know, like tomorrow could be your last day. So, you know, life and death are constantly fighting with each other. So you have to appreciate life while you still can.
Wow. Okay. Well, it sounds like you have a lot of symbolism in your tattoos, to be honest.
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah. Well, not all of them. I mean, well, pizza's life. I mean, that's symbolism. Clearly, it's kind of like head on the hammer.
They
there.
can't all be philosophical, you know.
But they don't have to be. I mean, is your music similar? Is that kind of like, do you do that life and death type of theme, or what would you say?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I wrote this song. It's called Medicine Man. And it's actually about a mom that struggles with addiction. So I have like songs like that, but then I also have songs that are about receiving dick pics. So you know, kind of like balance. Like I can write about serious stuff, but I like to have a good time and do, you know, silly stuff too. It just depends.
But it balances out.
That's what this industry needs. That's absolutely
it balances itself out.
Yeah.
You found a way to use dick twice with different words. That was very impressive.
That's just right up.
That's talent.
Yes, that's talent right there for sure. Okay, I'm gonna let someone else take. Like I said, I'll keep going. So I'll let somebody.
Okay.
else.
Well, you're on a big day. We're going to talk about the single and we're going to play it. But something that we've asked in the past, and I always like to hear what artists have to say. For the artists out there that are checking out the show, that are in high school or just getting into it, like you know, you said a couple of years ago, you really decided to make that leap. What's the advice that you would give them from where you're at now?
So I think the biggest thing that I would like to tell aspiring musicians and artists is to be yourself, because in the beginning I was so focused on like, how do I stand out? How do I be a different voice to where people are going to want to listen to me? But you know, the key to that is just being yourself. And you know, once you find who you are as an artist, as a person, and life itself, you really start to grow and you create your own sound. And it's like when I started playing guitar, that really helped me find my own muse and what I wanted to write about, and it really set me apart as an artist.
So if you could collaborate with somebody, who would it be? What's your dream collaboration?
Oh geez, I don't know. So I really like Tyler Childers. He's a newer artist. Also another newer artist that I really like is Co Wetzel. He's based out of Texas. I really like his music. Zach Bryan, he's also a new upcoming artist. I'm trying to think. Stevie Nicks for sure. I love
Stevie Nicks, by the way.
I love Stevie Nicks. So.
You sound like Stevie Nicks. I was telling the boys.
It's funny because that band that's playing on my song, when they met me today, they were all saying that. They're like, oh, this is like Stevie Nicks. It's like, that's such a big compliment. It means a lot to me. So thank you.
When you perform live, has there been an embarrassing moment, and are you okay to share that?
Don't look at me.
Okay, so no, a funny story. So when I was a lot younger, I would sing the national anthem at basketball games. And one day my mom was at home, we were watching like America's Funniest Videos or something. And this girl messed up the words. And then she also was like singing it was for hockey. She fell and biffed it on ice. And I was just laughing at her. I was like, I don't know how anybody could mess up the Star Spangled Banner. And literally that same week, I went to go sing it and I choked so bad. I messed up the words. And then, worst part of all, is I had school the next day and I came to school and everybody was making fun of me. So that was a little life lesson. Like, it could be you. Pain or embarrassment.
Absolutely, I agree. Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Kearstin, it seems like based on that experience alone, like that gave you the fire, like underneath, like to be like, you know, F them. I'm going to continue to do my music.
Exactly.
Right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So Kearstin, what's the ultimate goal? Can you see yourself doing this for the rest of your life?
I mean, that's the plan. I would love to do that, you know? And I've had people ask me that too with my tattooing, and they're like, well, what are you going to do? And I've been singing since I was like 2 years old. My parents, they told me they found out I could sing, but like they were in the next room over and they heard me singing lullabies to my baby dolls. So I've always had it in my soul to sing and create music and, you know, put out music that people can relate to. That's really big because, you know, feeling alone it's a really crappy feeling. You don't want anybody to feel that way. So if I write a song 9 times out of 10, I want people to be able to relate to it, even if it's sad or if it's happy. At the end of the day, I want them to know that they're not alone.
Right. Yeah, I love your compassion, how you can just be relatable to fans. I mean, that's what we look for in music anyway, just something we can relate to, right?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Before we get into listening to your music, I do have a goofy question to ask.
Let's go. I'm here for it.
I'm sorry, but when you're giving a tattoo, do you ever sing to your patrons?
I've had people ask me to, like, I'll sing along to music that's playing, but if I was full on out singing, there's no way I'd be able to tattoo. I get really into my music. They'd end up with an abstract tattoo that they never wanted in the first place. They'd be like, why is this line going this way and this way? Oh, you know, I had to hit that run real quick. Sorry, my bad. I know it's permanent, but
Man, that skull looks good on your arm, man. But what's that line up top? Oh, Stairway to Heaven.
Exactly, yeah.
It'd be a great story to tell, though.
Yeah. I have a question as well, actually.
Yeah.
What is probably your favorite tattoo you've tattooed on someone?
Man. Okay, so honestly, it's gonna sound silly, but I really like meaningful tattoos, and I've done really cool, intricate pieces. But I think my favorite, it was this girl came in. She was like 16 years old, and her dad had to sign for her to get a tattoo. And what she got was she got a note from her boyfriend who had actually taken his life like a couple days before that. And the note, it was like a really sweet note, him like telling her she's beautiful, and she got that tattooed on her ribs. So doing tattoos like that really shows like you can make a difference in somebody's life. And, you know, some people look at tattoos in a bad light, but I think a lot of people forget that people are getting tattooed as well for like very meaningful reasons. It's not always pizza on the hand.
Yeah.
They tell a story.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, pizza on the hand still tells a story.
Pizza on the hand always tells a story.
It does, yeah.
Clarify. Okay, I do have a question too. Similar vein, different direction. What's the silliest or weirdest tattoo that you've had to do?
Okay. I knew this was, I had a feeling this was coming. Okay, so I had this guy came to me. He said, me and my army buddies made this pact. We were supposed to get this tattoo years ago, and it never happened. And he wanted to get it. I was like, okay, well, what is it? He's like, well, it's really crazy, and it's like gonna blow your mind. You're probably not gonna want to do it. So obviously I'm like, I'm gonna do this already, like challenge accepted. So he got Papa Smurf jizzing on a Care Bear. Yeah. That's probably the craziest one, honestly. But it was actually
I'm trying
really
to picture that in my mind.
I'm not trying to picture that at all.
Why are you trying to picture that, Marvin?
Because it's pretty fucking funny. It's pretty fucking funny.
Rhiannon rings like a bell through the night. And wouldn't you love the lover? Takes to the sky like a bird in a flight. Who will be her lover? Oh, your love, you've never seen a woman taken by the wind. Would you say if she promised you heaven, will you ever win? She's like a cat in the night, and then she is starless. Oh, your love, you've never seen a woman taken by the wind. Would you say if she promised you heaven, will you ever win? Will you ever win? Brienne. She loved a lover, takes to the sky like a bird in the flight. Who will be her lover? Oh, your love, you've never seen a woman taken by the wind. Would you say if she promised you heaven, will you ever win? Taken by the sky, taken by the sky. Dreams unwind, love's a state of mind. Dreams unwind, love's a state of mind.
All right. Man.
That song was on fire. Oh my gosh.
You guys ready for some more?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, then for the H2G podcast, ladies and gentlemen, here is Kearstin Clark.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to do another original. This one is called Medicine Man. This one's about a mom that struggles with addiction. So hopefully you guys like it. She went pick for some flowers. She went off in the night. Took the baby's hand and told her it was alright. She went walking down the street in a dark alleyway. She went off the hill. She slowly got away. She sold her soul that night to the devil in the pale moonlight. I ain't got no addiction, you see. He's my medicine man. He loves me. He loves me. Don't need that high. It just helps me sleep better tonight. I love my kids dearly, but I need my medicine, baby. She sold her soul that night to the devil in the pale moonlight. I ain't got no addiction, you see. It's my medicine man. It loves me. It loves me.
Yes.
Wow.
They're popping out in the studio too.
Good. You just
Wow.
Thank you guys so much. I really
No,
appreciate
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was
Wow.
Your performance was amazing. Your passion. I felt every part of that song. It actually played a movie in my head, like Quentin Tarantino was the director.
Yes.
I was just walking along. Oh my gosh, amazing job. I love that song.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that.
No, you're very much welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Kearstin, I really, really love this song. Underneath all those words, like I sensed like the pain. It's one of the most empathetic, compassionate songs, I kid you not, I have ever heard up to date on this show. And that is, it really hits home because I don't know how many of you out there, Kearstin yourself, or know somebody that struggles with addiction. I know I've had family members that I know personally struggle with that. So I made sure that I slowed down and I listened to every word in this song, and it really hits home. And that's it. Wow. That's one of the most compassionate songs I've ever heard. And I really hope that gets out there to everybody.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Kearstin, I also hope you that's your next song for sure. I'm an alcoholic, so I can relate very much to addiction, and it's just I think what shocks me the most is just you see your face and you're a very sweet person, but like your voice is just so much deeper when you sing.
Yeah,
me off guard, you know.
Like nitty gritty Janis Joplin.
Yeah, you know, like I said, you have that Stevie Nicks, like really soulful grit, and you just have this raspiness to your voice when you're singing that I'm never ready for because I'm listening to you talk to me, and it's just they're not the same. And obviously, that's not to say I don't love your speaking voice, but it's
No, you're fine. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
It just really adds an element to your songs. I love the way your voice sounds, and I love the way that song came across. Honestly, Marvin already touched on the lyrics. I don't really need to get into them, but it was a beautiful song, and thank you so much for performing that.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.
Kearstin, yeah, and to piggyback off of Richie, it's a piece of your soul coming out when you're singing. I mean, you know, you're up front, and we love that about you. The interview was awesome because of that, but we see the true side of you through your music. And as far as the music goes, please keep making it. Please keep putting this out here for people.
Never stop.
I'm telling you what, not only is that a sound like a place like Nashville could really dig a sound like that, and I think it's what they need. I've been to, you know, we've got friends over there. We've been out there to the shows. I just don't feel that, and we're on a Zoom call, and I can feel the energy in this room over here. I'm telling you, it's incredible.
Well, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Yeah, like that's one thing I've learned with my songwriting is, like I said before, it's a way for people to relate. And, you know, like I don't personally struggle with addiction, but, you know, my parents, my dad, you know, addiction comes in many forms. And when you're around that, I mean, even if you're not the one that is addicted, it still affects you. And I wrote that song because I know there are moms out there, there's dads out there, there's a lot of people out there that struggle with addiction. And I've actually played it at a couple of my shows. And I've had people come up to me like after, like crying. And I feel so bad. I don't want to make people cry, but, you know, they relate to it. And I had this one mom, I'll never forget that. She came up to me after I was done playing, and she's like, I really listened to those words. She said, you know, she's like, I do struggle with addiction. She's like, I am a mom. She's like, and that like really hit home for me. And I think that's super important. And, you know, I made sure in the song and the words that the mom does end up, you know, passing away, because that's the reality of addiction. You know, that can really take your life away. It takes you away from your loved ones, and it steals you pretty much. So you have to realize it's a problem before it's too late.
We really appreciate you for being brave and that genuine, and taking on other people's stories and making it as your own into your music, and being able to reach people through that. That's truly genuine. We really appreciate that. And Richie, thank you for sharing that, man. And we also have you back too.
Man, I mean, that's true art. When you can convey passion, even if it's a story that you can convey a passion about any story and make it feel that way. I mean, that's in my opinion, true art. And guys, mark this down, mark this on the calendar, because we have a big star on the show, and we're going to be saying, go back and check out season 3.
Hard yes.
I really appreciate that.
Superstar, dude. Superstar.
Absolutely. Well, Kearstin, I hope that you keep in touch with us, come back and check in with us, and let us see how this progresses going forward. And I thank you so much for letting us be a part of the amazing music that you're putting out. We are so grateful for that. As customary here at the H2G podcast, we always have the artist spotlight that joins us give their final words, or the last word, as we like to call it. Just a word of advice, anything you'd like to give to the people.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say it's really important. Just be patient with yourself. We have bad days, we have good days, but at the end of the day, just remember it's a bad day. It's never a bad life. You have to keep chugging no matter what. And, even just getting up in the morning, sometimes that itself is an accomplishment for a lot of people. People deal with depression, they have anxiety. You never know what someone is going through. So I think it's really important that, we don't judge others and we're kind to everybody.
Man, that is amazing. And where can people find your music and the new releases and the tattoo work even?
Yeah, so my music page is K Clark Music. And you can type that into Facebook and also Instagram. And then I also have my tattoo page on Instagram, and that's Kearstin Clark Art, which I'll tell you how to spell my name. It's weird. It's KearstinClark and then art. I'm sure you guys know how to spell art.
Like ear.
Yeah. And my tattoo shop is called Impulsive Ink in Yorksville, Ohio.
Thank you so much for joining us. Don't go anywhere, folks. We got the last word coming up. You're watching the H2G podcast. All right. Welcome back to the H2G podcast. It is that time of the show where we sadly have to say a goodbye for the week. We are so happy that we're back on schedule and put our technical issues behind us. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody again next week. So we have our little tradition of the last word. I'm going to send it over. Let's see. Let's start with Mrs. Christy. And I kept the Mrs. Christy around.
I'm so not prepared. That's awesome. Well, final words. My baby is no longer with me. My husband took him, so that's great. Gonna go burn some more calories later. And really, I'm just excited for fall. Just enjoying the weather outside. Get outside, go have a campfire with yourself, social distance with your neighbors. Just enjoy the time that you have, because you don't know how much you have left. Ooh, that was dark. All right, Tony.
Well, thank you, Christy, saying it's dark and then said, Tony. That's great. I'd like to just say that we had a lot of great stories that we talked about. And, hopefully that lady who ran under 6 miles can get that record. I looked it up, Richie, and the men's record is 3 minutes and 43 seconds. And the women's record is 4 minutes and 12 seconds. So she's got some stuff cut out for her, but I believe that she can do it, because as long as you can believe and you chase your dreams, you can make it happen. To the story about the 3-year-old boy, it's very sad that that happened, and H2G sends their love to that family, because that's going to be a rough thing to get through. But for all other parents and people listening, just like when it comes to a mask, be mindful. You're not wearing the mask so much for yourself, you're wearing it for the people that are around you. And I would say that with the conceal and carry. You have to be careful. Some people don't want that in their environment, so you have to be respectful. Negligence is allowable. It's never allowed. You can't use that as an excuse for something to happen to somebody that really doesn't know what's going on around them. That's supposed to be your job as the parent, to be able to protect them. And then last but not least, I'd like to thank Kearstin Clark. Amazing, so eye-opening on what she brought to the table. And I'm very thankful that you joined us on the show today. Hopefully you can come back. And yeah, it was a pleasure. Have a great week.
Yeah, I would also like to thank Kearstin for coming on. Kearstin, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you to the guys and Christy. I always enjoy doing the show with you. I don't really have as much introspection as I normally do. I honestly will say what I was noticing though is as I'm getting older, I'm losing hair on the top of my head and it is growing on my face very rapidly. So for those of you watching the video, watch the journey of the beard. It's been 6 weeks and it's getting kind of thick. I've trimmed the mustache quite a bit already, thankfully. Otherwise, it would look very bizarre and I'd be eating it. And so if you are listening and you've always been intrigued about a mustache, they're not as fun as you think because you eat food and then you start eating the mustache. It will grow past your lip. And you actually have to let it grow about 3.5 inches before it's long enough to wax so you can do the handlebar thing. I've done that before. It's not worth it. The end result is dope, but everything before that, your love life is in shambles. If you have a girlfriend, you got to let her know ahead of time. She's not thrilled about it. Sometimes they'll try to cut it when you're sleeping. And yeah, so facial hair, if you ever want to talk about it, I got you. You can hit me up on my social medias at this point. And outside of that, tune in next week. I'll have a different hair color. I don't know what else to say. I'm being kind of vain today. Nothing really great. I am going to be doing the next game of the week. I'm glad to finally not have the stress of competing because every single week Marvin has been very obnoxious. He's been really on his game. He hasn't really had an off game yet. Knowing my luck, it'll be the week I'm hosting the game, so I can't win. So I anticipate Marvin will fail miserably next week. And then when I'm going to play again is when Marvin will be competing again. So Marvin, having said all that, please give us your last word.
Well, Richie, man, it's kind of tough to follow, but hats off to you, man. You won game of the week. You can't win them all, right, y'all? You just can't win them all. And not only did I learn that with game of the week, for all you fancy footballers out there, I'm sure that you learned that on Sundays as well. I've got off to a 4-game winning streak, but that stopped today as well. So I want to thank Kearstin Clark for coming on the show today. She was amazing. We really anticipate having her on again. Her music just hit our soul, and we can't wait to have her on again. And here on H2G, our hearts go out to the 3-year-old and his family. Like Tony said, negligence is never acceptable. We're not throwing salt in the wound, but we have to make it. We have to make it known to everyone out there. You know, keep an eye on your kids, your little brothers, your little sisters, because it's that one moment, you know, that you can never get back, like Christy was saying, and that is the reality of it. And here we don't mince words. We've been saying that for the last since season 1. We've been saying that for the longest. But I want to thank you all out there for taking your time to listen to this show. I urge you all out there to go out and vote. Please vote. Your voice matters. Your opinion matters. You matter. So go out there, make an informed decision, and we'll be right here waiting for you next week. We're going to have a great show. We love y'all. See y'all soon.
All right. Man. Well, thank yous first. Obviously, I'm going to also thank Kearstin and staff. That was awesome. We're blessed to have you on the show, and I also hope that you can come back. Thank you to the cast and the listeners and watchers, viewers, for being so patient with the production team. We literally lost the computer and had to start from scratch. So we appreciate you sticking with us through H2G week and sticking through a thick and thin with us here. yes, absolutely, you have to go vote, or I don't ever want to see your post again. I don't want to see anybody whining and bitching about the things that they want changed in this world if you're not even going to make an effort. You need to do some research, figure out the best options based on your beliefs, and go make a vote. Whether you believe it works or not, I need you to make a vote, because not voting is going to just get us right back where we are now. So I'm not really going to get too much back into the 3-year-old. Be smart. It's what I say every week at the end. You just need to be smart. If you are going to have the responsibility of owning a firearm, make sure that you respect that firearm. You know that firearm was only built for one purpose, and don't let it be used for anything other than what it was built for, which means in my opinion, not in the hands of a 3-year-old, not what that tool was built for. I want everybody to have a good week, and I'm excited to move on and actually have another chance to compete. Congratulations, Richie, on your victory point. I imagine we'll be seeing the both of you in this big finale again. But as always, I want everybody out there to be smart, wear your damn mask, live, laugh, love like it's your last. We'll see you next week.